These are like the turtles from Skylanders where you push them around and then you can stun them.
Into the wind.
So you do nothing. What's the events? Okay, wait. Mission pyro.
Let the magic begin!
Friends. Test run. A boss. Fire guy. Lyney. I want to see Lyney. I want to see how Lyney works. And then we can fight a few bosses. I'm not pulling for him because already have Pitao. Let me see him. Pyro Lyney. Yeah, Pyro Fontaine character. Bow user. With the Markesh Hunter Artisan. This is normal charge attack damage. So this could be good for Eula. Constellation. Profile, voice Damon Mills. Birthday 2nd Feb, and the hotel boss, yeah. I don't know. I can't speak French.
Dissipate! Out of the frying pan!
Now disappear!
Teamwork is dreamwork!
You're leaking an explosion.
Our bond is strong! Nice and spicy!
Here comes the finale!
Oh, it can turn into similar to Karara's thing, like.
And
You can turn into a card, amazing.
I'm going in! Ow! Booba, get them! Hey, yeah! Dissipate! I'll settle this!
let's get this show on the road!
Let's see charge attack. Deploys cats.
Stand with me!
So he has a thing for cats, okay. I'm not saying that in a weird way. As all of you are assuming, because y'all are Twitch kids. You might move to Kick. I installed it yesterday, but like, I'm gonna try and work things out with it. Okay, so I'm just gonna complete Yelan's thing. You all know how Yelan works.
Take it easy.
Out of the frying pan!
Blitz.
Cool it!
Zoom.
Quietly now.
Let's go zoom.
Frostbite. Surrendering.
You're toast!
Things are about to get dicey.
Nice, just zoom.
Crushed it. Oh, so sorry. Freeze. Try not to enjoy. Here comes the catch. Quietly now. This moment will be frozen in time. Cool.
Nice. Well, we're gonna have like the Zora armor, and then we're gonna climb up. That's what people are gonna say when they say, "Okay, you gotta be a bird." Bro, be quiet, man. I'm not main character.
Once, there was a glorious...
We've seen this 100 times. Oh yeah, they changed things. And they added more. So we're at... It still gives crab. Oh yeah, there are a few more enemies in the archive. Some new enemies. New abyss, or maybe I just haven't discovered it. Still, there's no more for Tui. So you got given the Mirror Maiden, but there's now no more. Okay, there's a few more. We've seen the trailer like. There is a lot more. We're not getting a weekly boss anytime soon. Yeah, at the start of the version, we're not gonna get an immediate weekly boss. We're gonna get like. Upgraded 3.0, we didn't get Scaramouche immediately. Quick suggestion for the Fontaine weekly boss. Can we have like just wait 1 minute? Look how beautiful the Hydro is. Look at how beautiful it looks. Got this one.
Follow the wind.
What? Romantic Harbor. Well, guys, they won't let us in unless we head there. Huh? Oh, so it filters whatever region we're in. Oh yeah, because here's underneath. Deeper end, and then here's. There's also stuff underneath here. And here. Also, I want to see Hydro Traveler for a minute.
According to Fontaine law.
Oh, so that...
You call that obvious? Precisely!
My apologies, Lady Farina. I don't mean to spoil the fun. But if you'd, I don't think that Paimon here meets the definition of a flying object.
You tell her, Lyney! Finally someone who's not crazy. How could anyone call Paimon a flying object?
She's floating. She's floating food.
Ah, great magician Lyney, my beloved citizen. I'll permit you to object. But how exactly do you plan to prove your claim?
As a magician who just rained on your parade, I naturally should shoulder the responsibility of saving the show. So, with such an audience gathered here, allow me to perform a trick for everyone.
Huh?
Ta-da! What's that on Paimon's back? Hey, when did you do that?
The young girl.
Huh?
she's up. Magicians and thieves practice similar methods. Watch her move.
Oh, he's right!
Shh, keep your voice down. We need to think of a way to catch her, but it seems she's very alert. You two can ride the lift over there and wait up top. I bet that'll be her escape route if she tries to. All right, let's go.
The spot where Lyney wanted us to wait. Oh, look! Isn't that her? Oh no! Did she notice us? What should we do? Should we chase her? You're right. She might.
Are you sure that's all she took? You should check.
No, that was all. Anyway, I should.
Oh, were you returning what the thief had stolen?
That's right.
I saw the general.
Oh, did you?
I'll be all right. It's just a twisted ankle.
If you want to play at being a hero, at least try not to get hurt doing it.
You're I have to admit, but at least we were able to get the stolen.
What a slippery little.
All right.
What was that?
Huh?
What? Traveler! Paimon!
Charlotte!
Oh, I never guessed What are you doing in Fontaine?
Yeah, it's quite the coincidence. But as travelers, we're always on. Though we still have no idea how the Hydro Archon knew about us.
Oh, no need for introductions, Paimon. I wouldn't be much of a reporter if I didn't.
Nice to meet you. From the Steambird, huh?
It's an honor to meet you.
So, what have you been up to lately?
Not too much. When there isn't any breaking news, I mainly cover the trials of. You can still manage to keep readers' attention as long as you tell things. For example, reporting on how a scammer once deceived vulnerable girls into relationships.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
What's up? I never yielded! And as you can see, I am not dead!
Sorry, was there some guy called Meth? I'm sorry, I don't want to get told off, but I don't. I got told off for some of the stupidest.
Oh, hello there. New customers? Looking to buy, or do you need something made?
Oh no, we're just here to deliver.
Ah, these must be for Magic Pockets. No need. But they insist.
Wow.
I can't.
Hey!
Why you?
I thought I'd find you hard at work, but here you are chatting the day away. Since
You again? Didn't I already promise you that I'd have the more I owe to confer?
yeah, but how do we know that you won't go running off by the end of this month? I want 50% today. Wait, no, 70%.
Huh?
Seems business isn't so great for the workshop. We've already finished our job and delivered the
Hey, hold on. Before you go around trying to collect payments, why don't you settle your own debts first? Hello there.
Scene of the opera Epiclus. If you look to the left in the direction we are currently traveling, you will see the famous Fontaine Research Institute up in the sky. An experiment gone wrong turned new sightseeing opportunity. Human ingenuity truly is a wondrous thing.
Wait, it is in the sky. Well, we're gonna get a map in the sky with like in the new Tears of the Kingdom.
This scenery is wonderful. Surely enough to convince anyone to become a wanderer.
We are now approaching our final destination,
Please be sure to bring all your personal belongings with you as you disembark. Even though I will take any forgotten items to the lost and found, the paperwork is rather annoying, as Melusine hands are not suitable for grasping pens. Please be careful when disembarking. It has been my honor to be your tour guide this trip. Thank you.
I actually like all this stuff. I actually kind of like Fontaine. Bus.
Time to go.
A rainbow rose.
Whoa! Now this is fancy! Huh? Looks like there's a lot of people.
Oh,
Vache. Vache.
She cheats on him.
No, Paimon didn't say anything. Welcome to the Fountain of Lucine.
That sounded like
Right. What do you mean? There are a lot of people here, right? Hey, you're not I see. I might be able to tell you some. In fact, you might not be imagining things at all. I suspect that what you heard... It's because of his sensitivity to the hydro element? But what would he... When do you cry, Paimon? Wait, what? What the... Just answer me. When Paimon's really sad? Oh, and when Paimon's super happy. Oh, and also when Paimon's really, really scared. Then you should understand that tears contain your most, like I just mentioned.
Right,
The
tears
Fountain of
the
Lucine
kingdom.
is... So maybe what you heard was the intense emotion coming... So, what did the voice say? Huh. If you were hearing their emotions, then Paimon wonders what happened to them.
Do with the
Rather than worrying about them, don't let that calm look of his... Oh, right.
Yeah, so
A magician's greatest skill is making things disappear or appear. The possibilities are endless.
she's gonna pull something out.
But this isn't what you came for. These little tricks, you've seen them all before. So it's time for something truly extraordinary, don't you think? This one's a little tricky. Using this water tank, I shall make my sister vanish completely, right before your very eyes. It's actually quite simple. She'll just turn into air bubbles and float right out of the top. Oh no! I told them to check all the props carefully. With the lid on, even air can't escape. An amateur magician would be getting very nervous right around now. Luckily, it's me on stage, so let me show you what a true virtuoso can do. I'm afraid I don't have any answers either. If someone tampered with my even a skilled and knowledgeable magician like—
Which is precisely why we need to investigate! As this book says, the impossible could not have happened. Whatever happened must have been that which is possible.
Look at this dude. Wait till you see the... No, 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 no.
Hey, you! Yes, both of you! Over here! I've been keeping an eye on you for a while now.
Huh? You mean us?
That's right. If I'm not mistaken, you're also among those who wish to cut down the thorns and pursue the truth.
Well, you're right on the more about that one, but who are you?
Have you never heard of the Spina di Rosula? From mediating disputes and providing protection, and I, Navia, have the honor of being its renowned president.
It's Taylor Swift!
So those who play by our rules.
It's Taylor Swift, guys!
I'm Silver, her attendant. Pleased to meet you.
Silver!
I'm Melus.
Wait, Silver's in this game?
Various daily needs and affairs
Silver
are under my purview.
Silver! Wow. Silver the Hedgehog is in this game as well.
What gives with the names?
Well, I am the second generation president. Melus and the others are still used to my previous title.
My apologies, demoiselle. Should you prefer...
No need. You don't have to call me boss. Just Navia is fine.
Well, Taylor Swift!
Okay, if you
I
say
don't
so.
know.
All merely trifling details. That's right.
Toy
I've always kept an eye on the serial
Generally speaking,
disappearance cases.
can you put me in the game
my
as well?
interest stems from a matter back from my father's time. Judging from the look of things,
I mean, you put me in Star, I'm thankful for that, but like...
Really? We think so too! But how did...
Intuition, naturally. Farina sure was, but that's anyway.
Sounds more like you just don't trust the Hydro Archon.
Well, what's your opinion? I must admit that she can be interesting at times. All right.
Wait a minute.
Well, in your opinion, do you think it's right to treat a trial like it's an And why would that be? See, Silver and Melus?
Most astute, no matter how wonderful, and if that can be done.
All right, that's quite now.
That's more like it.
Far be it from me, you wish to...
You have a point. And what about you over there? What do you think? You seem like you've got...
I have nothing to add.
Oh.
We'll be making some...
That you ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began.
Yes, that's correct.
In that case, I call upon the prosecution. Lady Farina, do you wish to refute his statement in any way?
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Lyney is clearly lying. There is no way you could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey and murder Cowell. In fact, I'd say you were hardly in that tunnel at all.
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
Oh, is that so? And if I may ask, what did you hear while you were inside your box?
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
And you didn't hear anything else at all? Nothing that might leave an impression of any kind?
No, nothing.
I see. But when the count reached 30 seconds or so, there was a thud. One so loud that I believe practically everyone heard it.
Huh?
Hey, hang on! Something's not right here.
Yeah, I'm sure he could have heard a noise that loud from inside the box.
I was right by the box, and I definitely heard the thud.
Look at those scales. Could those mean...
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to use the words of the magician himself. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. Indeed, it seems his alibi can also collapse in the blink of an eye.
Have returned to their positions. Let us continue the trial. When last we left off, Mr. Lyney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Farina as fact. Therefore, Lady Farina may continue stating her reconstruction of the events.
That took long enough. Now then, if everyone would lend me their attention. At this stage, let's revisit that scene from Lyney's perspective.
The order of events, what Lyney experienced, and what he saw. According to Lyney, he left via the vent after entering the tunnel. He couldn't have had that altercation with Halsey. Hmm.
Goes here then.
Lyney did not take part in the underground altercation. He only witnessed traces of the aftermath. Lyney went to the room that contains the Oratrice's core. This is the...
Attention! Ace Detective Paimon has something to say! When the countdown started, Lyney did indeed go into the tunnel. But he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House basement, which is where the underground core of the Oratrice is stored. Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been an empty room. Since he felt something was amiss, he returned immediately. The crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel again, and in order to complete the magic trick, he did not remain there for any length of time. Finally, he reached the surface, and that was when the accident happened from his point of view. Therefore, he's innocent!
Yeah. What would happen if you...
Wake up! Come on, hurry! Navi's outnumbered!
Huh? The hell's going on? I was gone for a few seconds and then I come back. This is exactly what happens when the teacher leaves the classroom, yeah?
What's out? Look out!
Dear God, it's a whole army of Gardamex. Chlorand?
Six. Chlorand, please. Save us.
Quick, now's our chance!
Danger ones. Blood's good for anime mode. I mean, it's not a sight, but yeah, that's the gun. Ooh. You have a white blind and you have an iron sting. So you send off defense and you send off EM.
Here you are. Oh, I've been
Huh? Aren't you the guy from the guards?
Yeah. News came from Irenaeus just after you left. We've got another trial.
Wasn't that place built
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui harbinger called Tartaglia.
Trials!
What? Is that someone you know?
Yeah.
It's Ed Sheeran, the ginger guy who ruined my game!
A little too well.
Well, he's been accused of being the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. It's absurd, don't you think?
Wait,
hey, girly.
How? None of our investigations have had
You
anything
sure
to do with
that
him.
hey, girly. I don't
That's
think
what
it's
I
him.
thought was strange about
Also,
it, so I came to tell you if the charge against him stands, then it'll...
Right. Because...
Yeah. And it'll be a lot harder than to clear Mr. Callus's name.
Huh? Split up? What do you mean? Since this is a... You're right. I won't have any chance of making that charge stick, though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be...
We'll help you.
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
I'm ready.
Ah, Malou, Silver. When did you two get here?
We heard that you'll... It's our hope that...
Thank you so much.
See you then!
Navia, this is the second time you've interrupted the court
There's
proceedings.
11 of them.
I only tolerated your behavior last time because you were able to provide the court with a key eyewitness. But that was an exception rather than standard court protocol. I can very well charge you with contempt of court for your interjection.
Oh, please. Did you ever think I had any We can put that discussion aside for now. I'm not here to argue with you. And if my charges prove true, then Tartaglia here will be proven innocent by default.
Oh, a young lady has charged in and offered to clear my name. How fascinating. Well, I'd gotten half bored to death by all these rules and procedures anyway.
Bored to death.
So I'll take you up. So,
It's not how he dies, guys.
Is there nothing else for me to do now?
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted. Now then, Miss Navia, who is the person you would like to charge instead?
That person is... Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières.
Huh? What confrérie?
I've heard of them, but weren't they Spina di Rosu?
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Please let me remind you, Miss Navia, that charging someone is an incredibly serious matter. Committing to the charge also means taking on the legal responsibility. And if the charge fails, depending on the circumstances, you may also be charged with the crime of making a false accusation. Knowing this, do you still wish to...
Yes.
In that case, I declare the charge to be valid. Miss Navia and attorneys, please take your places on the court.
You never actually is.
Members
If it
of
was
the
a real
guards,
person.
please
if he was the
contact
real
Mr.
judge
Marcel right away
there's
so that he may
hundreds of
stand
people be going to
trial.
jail. He'll be a busy man. He can't even go anywhere without having to go to stay in court.
Mr. Marcel, you will not require an attorney. Is that correct?
Apologies. It all just happened so quickly. I think an attorney won't be necessary. This is probably just a misunderstanding.
Very well.
I would like to take everyone back to 3 years ago, to the case of Callus the Unfaithful. Only through elucidating what really happened in that case.
Navia, do you really think that I was the one who killed your father? Come on, why would I do that? Callus was my benefactor, and remember both you and I only ran to the scene when we heard the sound of a gun. If that's enough to make me a suspect, wouldn't that make everyone at that banquet a suspect as well?
I think there's no point in getting into the specifics right now. The audience doesn't even have the big picture yet.
Farina.
Even I'm exactly correct, Your Honor. I must refresh everyone's memory about that case before—
I see. In which case, I will recount the findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage. On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside estate owned by the Confrérie of Cabrières. During the banquet, all attending guests heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. When the guests arrived at the scene, they found the primary suspect, Callus, holding a gun, while his acquaintance, Jacques, lay dead from a gunshot wound. The guards' investigation did not recover any other firearms from the scene. As a result, they concluded that the suspect's first shot must have missed, while the second must have taken Jacques' life. The suspect did not dispute this conclusion, and also declined to defend himself in court. Instead, he chose to prove his innocence through a duel. Callus was defeated by champion duelist Clarande in the ensuing duel, and soon succumbed to the injuries. These are the known facts about the case.
3 years ago? Let's have a rerun. What's that? Like,
the one with the motive to kill was Jacques, not my father. And even so, Jacques still had no reason to pull the trigger. In truth, the third person shot Jacques first, and was shot in turn by my father when my father seized the gun from him. After that, the true culprit turned the third person into water, erasing all traces. Thank you for the summary. However, we should revisit the case now that we've gained new information about the abilities of water from the primordial sea. This assassin first shot Jacques, then turned to shoot Callus, only for Callus to wrestle the gun from him and kill him instead. A pile of clothing was found at the scene. The guards once believed they were used by Jacques as a costume to disguise himself. But since it was raining that day, the culprit was confident that they could use the rain to wash away all traces of their dissolved accomplice. The testimony of the victim's family confirms that Jacques had thoughts of assassinating Callus when he set out for the banquet. Unfortunately for Jacques, the true culprit had already considered this Realizing this, the true culprit caused the hired assassin to dissolve into water, leading everyone to believe Callus was responsible for Jacques' murder. This is the
and he's just gonna blame it on Spotaglia.
So that's what happened. Wait, you're telling me something as dangerous as water from the primordial sea has been used for all these years?
What a great theory. It also explains Callus's and Jacques' respective motives. I guess they didn't
Mr. Marcel, you are the one being charged with the crime. You should provide a rebuttal.
But I think I agree with everything Navia just said. In fact, there was nothing in her speech that directly implicated—
Then, may I ask some questions? 1. Do you have the evidence to back up your claims?
I'm afraid not. At least not at this very moment.
Boo! If you don't—
I may not have the evidence with me, but I know where I could go to collect it. If we look up the deserted clothes against a record of people who went missing around the same time, we should be able to— Considering the serial disappearances case, the guards probably kept careful records of all missing persons from around that time, regardless of age or gender.
That makes sense to me. Monsieur Neuvillette.
What if all of them are related?
Why do I feel like Farina's acting a little differently today?
Maybe she's scared of embarrassing herself again?
Alternatively, she's become more diligent after...
My second question has to do with the ensuing duel.
Rita's gonna
Then
betray us.
why didn't Mr. Callis explain himself in court? If he had testified that a person...
I thought about this too, and the answer is actually pretty simple. He felt there were things that were more important to him. The dissolving power of water from the primordial sea is an important secret for the true culprit of the serial disappearances case. My father could have exposed it for all to see, but he chose to take it to the grave. At that time, Spina di Rosula was in dire straits, and his reputation had already been shattered. He had no guarantee that going forward with the truth would allow the culprit to be brought to justice. What was certain, however, was that it would paint a gigantic target on my back.
Boss once told me that Demoiselle had already been...
What? If the secret had gotten out, of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of the matter, but what good would that do? How had this opera, but by staying silent, I was able to become Spina di Rosula's president, which made me harder to target, as well as giving me more time to grow and learn. And once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge, I will do what this opera house cannot. And
so, you mean to say, your father intended to die in the...
That's right.
Do you have any proof?
Of course. All you need is to ask his opponent, Clarand. I don't need your apology, but since he entrusted his will...
So, during the duel, did you...
Yes, I did. As a champion duelist, I've fought many battles and taken a countless number of dishonored lives in my line of work. I've seen all kinds of people give their all for the faintest hope to continue living. Some were determined, others passionate, and just one look and I can tell if a duelist is hoping to live or if they're looking to die. I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr. Callis never intended to leave the ring alive.
Since that's your testimony, I have no more questions. It appears there really are good grounds to reopen this case.
I concur. However, Miss Navia, you still have not explained the link between your father's case and the serial...
Right? What she said was fascinating.
Wait, weren't they just talking about the serial disappearances case?
Of course, Your Honor. The two cases are connected via a matter of timing. In my father's case, the culprit intended to kill both Jacques and Callis. As a result, they planned to act after hearing 2 gunshots. And at the end of Lyney's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone because they realized they were at risk of being identified. The culprit could only time their actions so precisely if they were already at the scene. Coincidentally, Marcel attended both the banquet and the trial.
So that's why you suspected me. Even after hearing your reasoning, I'm used to it, though.
No need to appeal.
I won't try to refute your points. On top of that, does a person have to be physically present to
Don't know what she can say to that.
I know that even with that, alas, who won't feel at least a little hurt by an accusation of murder from a girl you... But if I were to dismiss this, do you know what the biggest flaw in your reasoning is?
I suppose you're gonna tell me anyway.
It's timing again. I'm a businessman by trade. From that standpoint, there's no reason for me to kidnap young women. It's a high-risk action with nothing to gain. In addition, I left my home in Snezhnaya when I was young to come to Poisson and work in some trade. My business only thrived when I received Callis's patronage. But the disappearances began before I ever stepped foot in Fontaine.
I do apologize, Demoiselle. This was my mistake.
No, it's not your fault.
Is there anything else you'd like? You can also take a look at my border entry records, or ask my friends and family. Could those records and testimonies do something to appease the
Seems like she got the wrong guy. At this rate, Navia will be convicted for falsely accusing him.
I think you've done a superb job of dissecting your father's feelings as he neared the end of his life. But aren't you going against all of his wishes? And he wished for you to become more rational once you've learned to be more considerate of others' feelings and to stop rushing headlong.
This isn't just about me. The biggest difference between me and the rest of the victims is that the people whose families were destroyed by synth abuse, the people who lost their loved ones to the serial disappearances, and the people who suffered tragic and many people's images are and whose image? Is it a man named Vache?
Huh.
Oh, so you do know.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've never even heard.
I was waiting for you to say. As expected of my partner. I just knew you'd return in the nick of time.
Just how often do you intend to flout the rules of this court?
It's all right, Monsieur Nervalette. Given their confidence, I expect they've found...
Has to do something.
But the truth of it, Marcel, is that you've always been Vache.
I love the pointing thing.
Huh?
We've investigated your lair and we already know everything! After your lover, Veneer, was dissolved, you kept abducting young women to experiment on the hopes of bringing her back to you! You even created Marcel as a new identity and destroyed all records of your past as Vache!
So that's it. Even the villains in opera performances rarely go that far. And with that, Marcel's motive has now been established.
This information regarding your past also dismantles your prior timing defense. Well, Marcel, do you know where you went wrong? You fixated your gaze on the lover that passed away, instead of paying attention to the living people around you. So, you never noticed how we changed, or how we grew as individuals.
You also never understood Boss's real expectations for his daughter.
Or our determination to see things through.
Your determination.
Mr. Marcel, please speak up now if you would like to defend yourself.
Do you really pay attention to you? What for? Have you ever paid attention to me? Ever empathized with my... No one helped me. No one even believed me.
Now, hasn't this been a most delicious piece of drama? The villain has been caught, justice has been served, since it's been such a great show, I'll just let the false accusations against me slide. Either way, I've still...
Please wait just one moment, Mr. Tartaglia.
He's still guilty, is he?
What now?
According to court protocol, since this trial was initiated...
Oh, come on.
So he was also a part of it.
All right.
Through evidence presented in the public trial that was just held, it has been established that the guilty party has been identified, and thus we now turn to the oratory...
Child is guilty, so now...
According to the judgment of the oratory guilty...
What?
Hey! That's not funny! Didn't you just... What's with this verdict? Is your...
Huh? This has never happened before.
I mean, have you ever heard of an innocent Fatui Harbinger? Do you think the...
But weren't the charges about the serial disappearances case? No matter what else he's guilty of...
Yeah, what
the judgment of the oratory... Guards, please take the...
So this is how justice is done in Fontaine. What a joke. You've got your rules. Well, I've got mine too!
He's gonna die.
I am sorry. If you have been wronged, we will find the truth. But the rules of the court must be upheld.
He's dead! Run!
My apologies. My investigation has still not reached its conclusion. However, I still believe the judgment of the Oratrice was not rendered arbitrarily.
But you also—
For many years, I have been quite aware that as a divinely created mech, not only can it produce the incredible, which is all to say, I have been prepared.
So when—
I was not aware such a thing. In any case, I am inclined to believe, based on Farina's reaction, I doubt even she had any idea what. While we do intend to get to the bottom of this, if we did incorrectly convict—
If you ask Paimon—
Is there anything?
Right.